And we are live, and we are here with Ada Malave, and she is one of the authors in 20 Shades of Grief. Ada, it's wonderful to have you here, and I'm so excited about this book. And why don't you share a little bit about your story and why you decided to write a chapter in 20 Shades of Grief?
Yes, thank you, Sally, for having me. Yes, this chapter in the book has been exciting and it goes along with a book that I wrote myself, Serenity After the Storm, which has to do with grief as well. And the chapter itself, the silent grief, the name of the chapter, the silent grief, navigating life after miscarriage, is a grief that is not recognized as grief when we go through miscarriages and we lose a child based on, a miscarriage. And I feel that we need to discuss this a little bit more. And grief in general is not spoken at all at length the way it should be and understood. So getting together with all these authors and writing 20 Shades of Grief is a beautiful uh, moment to get all different aspects of grief into one book and share it to the people out there that need, or possibly maybe relatives might need to read these chapters. They're all different types of grief that are being acknowledged in these chapters.
Yeah, that's what I love about this book is having in the different ways that people grieve. You know, everybody has a different way of grieving. For some, it's they get more into themselves in silent, and for others, it might be going out and doing something of service. So everybody has their own little way of doing things. So what was your way? What was something that you found that helped you overcome the grief?
My my go-to at that time was just understanding my emotions and trying to recognize what exactly was I going through, because a lot of the emotions I didn't give it a name and it needed to be recognized at some point. Like, okay, I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm anxious, I'm feeling shame, I'm feeling guilt, because at some point during the process of the miscarriage, I did feel shame. I did feel guilt, and I felt alone. I felt like nobody really asked me how I was doing. And
Yeah.
no one acknowledged that, there was no ceremony for the miscarriage, no ceremony for the child being lost. Um, and that acknowledgement needed some kind of support. So I prayed a lot. I acknowledged my emotions. I went through processing and getting more information on grief. I did a lot of meditating and journaling.
Yeah.
So journaling did help, just writing down my thoughts and my feelings at that point. And there are other things that now these days, I even do more because as life goes on, we do grieve other things. And I've used writing letters to the deceased and things that I never got to say to them while they were alive. I write it on the letter and I can either burn it and let the universe just throw that information out there for that energy to receive. Exercising, yoga. I've gotten into face yoga. Uh, what else? So many other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, exercising, walking, grounding, putting my feet on the ground and just grounding and letting that energy go into Mother Earth. And
Right.
yeah, a lot of nice, beautiful things that we can do to help us do through the process.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own individual way of doing things, so that's acknowledged as well, and that's beautiful to see.
Yeah. Why do you think society, I don't know, maybe it's just today, doesn't um acknowledge the grief that happens with a miscarriage?
Yeah, basically the Western culture is kind of behind on a lot of things of acknowledging grief as a process, because we are born and we are going to
Mhm.
pass
Right,
away.
right.
And
That
it's sort of like the ego, like we're not going to pass away. No, we're going to live forever. But no, that's not true. And the natural way of life is you're born and you pass away.
Mm.
And understanding both processes is important as well. The whole beautiful miracle of life and the miracle of passing on and transitioning to another level of existence.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
it's not really, the grief is not for the person, is not the person that passes doesn't grieve. It's more for us, you know? So,
how do we accept, how do we process, how do we see our future lives without this person? And we have all the right to grieve because we loved someone
right.
and they were part of our lives and we have memories about them, and just to cherish those memories and help those memories carry us further in life. And we're
Oh,
gonna have a new chapter.
right. And well, with the miscarriage, you plan for their future when you find out,
Exactly.
you picture your life with them. You fall in love with them before they're even born. And then um
Yeah, that's the whole process. You start uh feeling that pregnancy because your whole body changes, the
mhm,
hormonal changes, you feel the growth of your belly. You think about what names to pick, what would they be in the future, and
right.
what would you be in their lives in the future? So all that is lost with the miscarriage.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're talking with Ada Malave, and she is one of the authors of 20 Shades of Grief. The book is available right now over on Amazon. So if you head on over to actiontakerspublishing.com/books, you can find this and a bunch of other books that are
Yeah.
available for sale. Um, so tell us a little bit about you. Who are you, and um what do you do? Yeah.
Yeah, I am currently living in Puerto Rico as of 1998. I am a New Yorker, and I moved to Puerto Rico. And after I retired, I got certified as a coach, and I am now dealing with individuals that are in need of help in processing grief. So I'm a transformational grief coach. I am a master NLP practitioner also, and I am an author, a speaker, yoga instructor, and a grandma.
Awesome, awesome. And that's so much fun. It's so good to, to put yourself out there and to be helping other people,
Yeah,
especially in the
yeah,
grief process.
yeah.
Now, do you have a group of women that you've connected with that have also gone through grief, or
Yeah,
is it men too, men and women, or is it just women, or
I usually deal more with women. Men, they have dealt with grief, but it's not as open as we wish it would be. But yeah, if anyone needs any assistance, my doors are open. My doors are open to anyone that needs help. It doesn't, I don't discriminate age
right, right.
or sex or gender, whatever. But yeah, I'm available. I established a group, a Facebook group. It's called Serenity After the Storm. And in there, I do my Friday tips. I do a video every Friday. Well, I try every Friday to do a video, give some sort of tips on things that matter in grieving, giving just tips on empty nesters, what they can do to help the process, people that have lost their identity, their health, because that's all part of grieving as well. And
Yeah.
anyone that lost their job, relationships.
Right, right. I mean, even like divorce, you when you grieve the marriage that you
Yeah,
wish you had,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
I get that. I get that.
yeah.
Um, so tell us a little bit about your chapter. What did you write about in the book?
Yeah, my chapter entails my own experiences with navigating my miscarriages. They were not just one, but the experience from the first one helped me understand my own processing when I went through it again and again. And just seeing how people in general don't understand that it is grievable
Yeah.
and not being acknowledged at some point, like, are you okay? I know you went through a process of losing this baby and no acknowledgement alone, you feel alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think people, a lot of times people might be afraid that um, they're going to make you remember something that you don't want to remember. They're going to
Yeah.
say it and then you're going to start crying and they're going to be,
That's good that you cry.
right, I know, but a lot of people,
Good.
right. A lot of people don't want to feel awkward. They
Yeah.
don't want to have those awkward conversations. They don't want to talk about it because they think
Yeah.
that it might upset you. So they don't want to.
And that's the whole thing behind, I guess, the 20 Shades of Grief. It gives a lot of information of things that we should be aware of. Like, you don't necessarily have to say much to someone that's grieving. Just them knowing that you're sitting there beside them and not saying a word is the most powerful thing that you can do for someone. Like they say, the word unsaid is more powerful. And just let that person know that you're there to support them or just listen. And that's one of the most important things, just listening and being non-judgmental.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And that's what's nice about this too, because you got 20 different stories. You got
yeah,
um 20 different stories about you know all different people who've lost children, people who have lost
okay,
parents, people
yeah,
who've lost jobs,
yeah,
or you know it's nice to be able to have the community of people. And I think when you're in one of these books, that's what happens is you
yeah,
especially a book like this, because it's so emotional. It's so there's so many stories in here, and the women kind of get to know each other through
and,
their stories.
yeah. And a lot of them might intertwine because my vision or my perspective of what I went through. And you might have gone through the same thing, but we have different stories to tell because we're seeing it from different levels and different experiences. So that helps too. That helps the reader understand that they're not alone at all. And
Yeah,
everybody has their own story. And
right.
we should respect all of the stories that come forth.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you want the reader to take away from reading your chapter in this book?
Um, I want them to understand that grief, because we lost someone we love. Grief is never simple, and when it comes to miscarriages, the pain is often layered with silence, misunderstanding, and unspoken sorrow. Sorry. Um, yeah, they're not alone. Miscarriages, they are grievable, they matter, and you're not alone on this journey. And there are communities of women who understand the pain and stand with you in solidarity. Healing is possible, and within you lies the strength and to find your own serenity after the storm. So
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So if someone is going through something right now and they want to reach out to you or they want to connect with you or talk to you about your chapter, how do they connect with you?
yes, you can connect with me. I'm on social media on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, just with my name, Ada Malave. I am a transformational grief coach, and I can also be reached at my email, amalaveriVera@gmail.com.
Awesome. Awesome. So head on over, get your copy of 20 Shades of Grief, and connect with Ada. And thank you so much for being in this book, for sharing your
Thank you,
story
Sally.
in it. We are so blessed to have you in this book with us.
Thank you. Thank you again.